Hey guys, it's Shannon here for Big Energy from Within, helping you to create the healthiest version of yourself through holistic nutrition, manifesting, and just growing within. And today we are talking about adrenal health. Your adrenals are two walnut-shaped organs that sit on top of the kidneys, and that is what is helping you with your energy levels, or if they're overburdened and over-exaggerated, then we have to help to support them. And what are some things that we can do in order to do that? So the first thing is having some sort of adrenal support, and that is by grounding yourself. What can we do to ground ourselves so that we can stop the madness within our mind and that the craziness and all the sounds out there are just silenced? And that is to just be silent with ourselves. That is no distractions from phone. That might mean a little bit of a detox from your phone and from social media and from TV. Yes, I said TV too. It is really making the intention to get outside into nature. So if you have a backyard, and if you don't, it's to make the effort to get out into nature and sit by the elements. If you can sit by a river, the ocean, a pond of any sort, and just get out and take your shoes and socks off and ground your feet into the soil, because there's an electromagnetic field that the earth has that helps us, because we are electromagnetic as well, to ground us. And it really helps with our brain. It helps with our body and healing. And you might think that's woo-woo, but now in 2024, there is a lot of science out there that is showing us that grounding is very essential. And so many of us are lacking it because we're just sitting around all day and LED lights. We are walking around with rubber soles. And so our body is not touching with the earth like it's supposed to. So that is number one. If you can get out into nature, or even like I said, if you have a backyard, to go out and do it before you go to work every day. Do it when you come home from work every day. Get out first thing in the morning when the sun rises. Now, all these things are it might take you a bit to change your habits, because a lot of us have, let's just call it what it is. We have a lot of bad habits. And we are so manipulated into thinking and being brainwashed into looking at our phones so much and looking at social media and scrolling, and we get lost in it and we forget, oh my God, an hour's gone by, what have I done? Just like dumbed myself down 2 notches. So in order to do this, it's really important to shift your habits a little bit. Get up and watch the sunrise. Again, it sounds really hokey. It's not. Watching the sun, there is so much nutrients and so much information that we're getting from the sun, and it is going to elevate your energy levels. It's going to elevate you. You get out for a walk first thing in the morning, even if you're tired. And that is really, really important. The other thing in supporting the adrenals is starting to meditate. And that, again, is, you might say, I can't meditate. There's so much going on. Listen, if you don't learn to take that little bit of time for yourself, you are going to spiral down, my friend. You're going to spiral down. So it's really important that you take that time and learn to meditate. You can do it. Anybody can do it if they put in the effort. So start with 2 minutes, then increase to 3 minutes. You're going to love it. It's going to change your freaking life. So the next thing is journal, sit and journal. I talk about this in some other videos if you want to check them out, because they're really good. And it really helps to hash out things, hash out problems, really helps to get you balanced, helps you manifest things that you want in life. There's so many things that journaling can help you with. The next thing is getting on a support system of an adrenal support supplement-wise. And there's various things that you can use. I'll tell you the things that I've used over the years that have really helped me. Number one, it is utilizing GABA, which is a really good neurotransmitter, and that just calms the mind without calming the body, where your body is still, you're not feeling tired and lazy after you have it, but it calms that monkey mind. If you have any stress or you suffer from anxiety throughout the day, or even before you go to bed, GABA is one of the best things that you can do. Now go to your health food store, not a pharmacy, to get this, because you're going to get a better quality supplement if you go to your health food store. And they have, quite knowledgeable people typically at health food stores that are going to lead you to the right direction. The other thing is holy basil. Holy basil is just a beautiful herb. It's been around for centuries. And this one, again, is really good for calming the mind, calming the body, and really helping you get into that calming state. So really good before meditation. It's really good before bed. It's really good, again, if you have anxiety. Another option, and you can do any of these, you can do a couple of them together, it doesn't hurt, or you can do, just one, whichever one you choose. The other one that I really like to do is reishi. And I love reishi. Why do I use reishi? Now, I use a particular product because this one really works for me, and that is a reishi medicinal mushroom from Purica. Reishi has a ton of benefits. So not only is it quite that monkey mind, but it really helps with helping to boost the immune system throughout the winter and whenever, people are going through stuff. Reishi is absolutely fabulous for that, but also really helps support the kidneys and really helps with just helping with gut health. So Reishi is another one that I definitely go for, and I have that on hand, especially if I'm feeling anxiety, and I put it in my recharged coffee every day. So if you want to see my recharged coffee video, take a look at that, because that one is fabulous and what I put in my healthy version of coffee throughout the day. Actually, morning. I only do one a day. The next thing is, if you are drinking multiple cups of coffee throughout the day and you're like, I can't get through my day without having caffeine, that's okay. Now, if you've been struggling from long-term stress for over, a long period of time, then what happens is that if we don't do anything to support the adrenals, then your thyroid is going to be affected. And so we don't want that to happen. There is an epidemic with thyroid issues within this country. I'm in Canada and also America. And so we need to take a look at, number one, the quality of food, number two, the quality of water, and number three, the different exposures and stuff, but also stress. Stress is really affecting our thyroid, and we need to find a way to help support that. So what I typically really recommend is that if you love coffee, then you can do something else. Number one, switch to organic. Stop going to Starbucks. I know, sorry, I have to say it. Starbucks, Tim Hortons, all those places that are filled with chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, all these glyphosates, mold toxins that are affecting you throughout your day. It's affecting your mood, and it's definitely affecting your adrenals. Not to mention that Monsanto's did buy out Starbucks some years back, and so it's some of the worst stuff that you could possibly put into your system. And so if you want to get on the health journey, then start by going and getting organic coffee. You can still go to big box chain stores and get it at a reduced price of organic coffee. Now, if you're really serious and helping to support the adrenals, if you're having several cups, so start to eliminate and having less cups of coffee, go down to 1 to 2. Then here is a trick that really, really helps, is that you're kind of tricking your body, even though, you're still having the coffee, is start to have decaffeinated organic. I need to really express this, that you have to do decaf organic. Don't go and get some of the crazy other stuff, because the chemical processing and stuff that they do to decaffeinate it is not okay. But if you do the organic decaf Swiss water process, it's really good. So what I start to do is cut my coffee. So I have regular coffee, and then I will do half regular, half decaf. And then after a few days, then I'll do this much caffeine and then this much decaf, and then keep increasing the decaf until you're just having decaf. And the other option too that I really love, and I'm going to do a full video of this because it just shouts, it needs a video of its own, and that is the beauty, the magic, the gift from the gods is cacao. So I add in organic cacao into my decaf coffee. So I just recently decided, just because my adrenals were hooped for a long time, went through a really long stressful period in my life, and I was doing all the other things to really support my adrenals, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this last thing, and I'm not gonna give up the taste of coffee, because I love it first thing in the morning, especially when I get up early in the morning when the birds are singing, and I'm outside doing my meditation. I just love the smell of that coffee. So what I do is I now just do the decaf, and then I add in a bunch of cacao to it too, because then I'm getting all the nutrients and the manganese and the antioxidants and everything, the polyphenols from the cacao, and it just has this beautiful flavor to it, and I love that. And then on top of that, obviously my medicinal mushrooms that I add. And so by doing that, that is really helping to save my adrenals from becoming overtaxed and starting to support them, because I'm doing meditation, I'm doing my GABA, I'm doing my reishi, and I'm starting to get better quality of sleep. Because guess what, folks? When you start to reduce the caffeine, you are going to have better quality of sleep. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, I have a cup of coffee, then I can sleep. I'm telling you, that is not something to gloat about. Why? Is because that's showing you how overexerted your adrenals are. Because for a normal body, if you were to have caffeine, that would keep you stimulated. So if you're having the coffee and you are not being stimulated by it, then your adrenals are already way past trouble. So we want to bring it back into balance, and we're going to help you out in this video by doing that. So it's the next thing is making sure that your quality of sleep, it starts to improve, because I'm telling you guys, your quality of sleep doesn't improve, nothing else is going to improve. You need to sleep to heal, to repair, to regenerate, and to be the best version of yourself in this life and in this world. And without good quality of sleep, that's not going to happen. So what are some really big sleep disturbances, sleep destroyers in our life that is really affecting us? Well, number one, I said the caffeine. Number two, of course, stress. That's why meditation is so critical. Number three, it's the light before you go to sleep. Yeah, stop scrolling. Stop scrolling 2 hours before you go to bed, at least 1 hour, because that LED light, that blue light that you are looking at, is going to affect your body 4 hours past the time that you are looking at it. So if you're scrolling until midnight, 1 in the morning, then you're not actually going to get into that deep REM sleep till about 4 hours past that. Don't have your phone next to your head, because the electromagnetic rays from the phone is affecting your brain waves. Especially don't plug it in next to you or even in the same room, because that really affects you. So if you can put your phone in another room, if you can have it on the other side of the room, especially if you need it for an alarm, then to try to do that, because that is really critical in helping you to sleep better. And that is, again, it's where your brain has to start searching for, what did I used to do before phones? Now, if you're a teenager, I know you've had phones for a long time, but for those of us that are older and are 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that know what it was like to not have a phone before bed. What did we used to do? Well, we used to maybe do, read books, clean, talk to people, engage in other conversations, learn, educate ourselves, meditate, do yoga, anything that's calming for us. There's so many things. Maybe do some games with your kids, play with your kids, read books to your kids. I don't know. There's literally infinite things that we can do instead of being on our phone before we go to bed. And so that, my friends, is that what I wanted to bring to your attention. The next thing is that we want to kind of calm down the day. So having a really good sleep routine is really critical. So if your mind is really wired before you go to sleep because you got a really stressful life going on, then again, you might want to just take a pad of paper out or take a trusty journal out and start to journal out the things that are going on in your head, the to-do list of the next day. Because if you write out your to-do list today, you're going to be able to sleep better, because you're not overthinking on all those things, because you've already gotten it down on paper. You already got it out of your mind and you're able to relax. Even problems, issues, all of that. And the other thing is too, is to really just reaffirm to yourself that all the problems and issues that you have tonight will probably be still there tomorrow. So there's no point in overthinking things and going over all of it before you go to sleep, because it's not going to do you any justice. The next thing is food. My friends, I am telling you, depending on how late you eat, it is affecting your sleep and the quality of sleep. So if you are eating too close to bed, you are going to stay awake, especially meat, because it takes 4 to 6 hours for meat to digest. And that what happens is, a lot of people say, I always wake up at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, 3 o'clock is liver hour. So that's where your liver is telling you it's overstimulated, it's having a hard time processing, or it's toxic, or if you have a fatty liver. Like, all of those things are happening at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so make sure that, if you can stop your last meal at 7 p.m., then you are going to have a much better quality sleep throughout the night. And again, guys, I am telling you, if you want to live a better, healthier life where you're mentally sound, then you need to make sure that you're doing whatever it takes to have a better quality sleep at night. The next thing is, I know this is going to be a hard one for a lot of you guys, because as stress, especially since COVID, one of the biggest things that a lot of people have turned to is alcohol. And so when we have alcohol, especially when we get older, it affects us a lot more throughout the evening and our sleep. So if you are drinking alcohol before bed, then you might as well not sleep, because you are not going into that deep REM sleep. You are going in and out, even though when I hear people saying, oh, well, I had this much to drink and it helps me to go to sleep. But here's the thing, is because your liver is working overtime, you are not going into that REM sleep. And so you're not healing, repairing, recovering, mentally being able to recharge for the next day. You are hindering your life, you're hindering your success, you're hindering your health by doing that. And you have to ask yourself, is this worth it for me? Because I'm not feeling good. I'm starting to feel depressed. Maybe you already suffer from a lot of mental illnesses. Maybe you're suffering from depression or severe stress. There's a lot of things going on in your life, and you have to ask yourself, is this really worth it for me to continue on this path? So cutting out alcohol is really, really important. And again, what is something else that we can do? It's important when we stop one thing is to have another crutch that is healthy. And, I know that it's easy to do that because that's something that for a lot of us is a learned behavior from what we've seen as children and, ancestrally, that's what people did. And we need to understand in this day and age, there's a lot of other things and a lot of other, therapies. And if there's trauma that you've gone through, then there's a lot of other beautiful things that you can do in order to help you release that pain and that suffering that you've gone through. So like one of the things I can just suggest to you off the top of my head right now that I know that works, if you don't want to do talk therapy, because talk therapy doesn't really work for a lot of people long term, and that is cranial sacral. Find a really good cranial sacral therapist or a somatic practitioner. And somatic practitioners are really good with helping to release trauma from the body through different movements. And so that's another thing that can help. I love exercise. I love to go for walks, and I love to do it without my headset so I can really hash out things in my life and just really put on positive podcasts and positive YouTube videos in order for me to be the best version of myself. There's always something else that we can do, and there's always help available for us if we make the decision to look outside of ourselves and open ourselves up to the universe, that we are ready and willing to change in a positive way. We can do it. We can manifest the best quality of life and the best health for ourselves. So if you have been suffering from adrenal exhaustion because of long-term stress, now if you also tack on the fact that you had alcohol, lots of caffeine, lots of processed foods, because processed foods in general will tax the adrenals too, because it's pulling all the vitamins, minerals from our system, then it's really important that we're replenishing our body with good quality food. But we're not going to feel like doing that if we are continuing on the cycle that we've been on and we're not getting the good quality of sleep. So it just takes a couple of simple shifts, and all of these things that I said to you guys today, you don't need to take all of them to heart. You take a couple, 2 or 3, or even maybe 4 of the suggestions and implement that into your life, and see over a 3-4 month period how you're feeling and how you're recharging your body and how you're doing. And I'm here to support you, and I'm going to continue doing videos so that you can elevate your life to the next level. And I love you guys, and I'll talk to you on the next one.